romancing Shadowheart, that thing to do with the bear, and all of the other stuff.
I hate her hair. I can't with Shadowheart.
Shadow Mommy, I have seen some call her. But
look, when I said I wanted a big burly bear, that wasn't what I meant.
Well, this is what you get. Now, that aside, we are here in the land of Icewind Dale, seeking to end the forever rime of the Frostmaiden. But it seems that things keep getting in your way. If you are interested in earning a point of DM inspiration, please give me a D20 roll into chat. Elsewise, I will do our recap from last time. Oh, I see a D20. That's a 17. It's a pretty good one. Going once, going twice, sold to a Kia. You may earn yourself a D of inspiration with your recap.
Okay. So last time we started out in combat in Zardarak's coal mine, where he had built a 10 towns destroying Shardland dragon. Lotus's what's it called? The Illithids.
The Flavy?
The Illithid. The Illithid was killed right around that time by Zardarak. So maybe that'll might have something interesting for how Lotus feels about the Illithids in general. Possibly stopped what other personal growth Lotus might have come into with that. We'll see. Lotus had just found out about her father the previous week, so we're still wondering about that. Maybe we need to take a trip. We'll see. Maybe far in the future. We finished battling Zardarak. Dunked Zardarak in the lava a few times. He summoned some crazy Shardland creatures. Tried to self-destruct the dragon's heart. Tried to blow up the lair, burn us all in fire. But sort of before things could get too dicey, I guess the Grand Alpha saw her moment to strike to assure victory for herself and sort of swooped in. We finished off Zardarak, finished off the other prince that we had not captured. But as the battle ended and we went to go free prisoners and figure out what exactly we were going to do, try and find the weaknesses of the dragon, Avalos took off, turning into a small creature and scuttling up the elevator, and just rode off on an owl to go save as many people as they could. In the meanwhile, we stopped the explosion, disabled and destroyed the dragon's heart so that it could not return and recharge. We rescued the prisoners, one of which happened to be Akia number 11. So now everyone's got a little bit of PTSD going around. Except for maybe Alicia, who seems oddly calm.
I was about
Even
to
more
say,
calm than
it's
normal.
perfect over here. Nice and sunny.
Let's see. We did some interrogation of the prince we had captured, found that there might be a way to disable the dragon entirely. Instead of going through a big, instead of trying to completely destroy it, there's an exhaust port below the tail that can be activated with some Shardland. We might be able to disable it that way. And after some general looting and looking around, we are now on the trail of this dragon and Avalos, and we're gonna try and catch up, but they're probably they're flying, so it's gonna be difficult. Let's see, anything I miss? Alicia, Akia, Gaiman, going a little bit crazy from Shardlin. It's possible. Seems to be clear-headed. The possibly, but she's got that evil mask on. Don't know for certain. With Zardarok out of the way, Grand Alpha has set up a mushroom brewing drink trade with 10 towns. We'll see how that goes. And I think that's about it.
Excellent. Would you like a point of DM inspiration or a faxpiration for doing the recap?
I'll take the inspiration.
All right, you have earned inspiration. Let us continue on our path with our Thane fact for this week. Something that we can learn about your characters to become a little bit more acquainted. Let us begin with Gaiman the Glaive.
Yes. I suppose it's a little embarrassing considering my age, but I've never been in a serious relationship before. So, yes, if anyone has observed me being awkward or uncomfortable around others' intents towards me, it is for that fact. I am emotionally limited in my experience. Yeah. There it is. A virgin. Laugh it up.
Nothing to laugh about. Gaiman's just waiting for that special person, whoever that may be. Let us continue to Avalos.
So, I think this won't really come as a surprise to many, but growing up raised by Yeti tends to separate you from a lot of people, and I never really had a lot of friends. Don't know how to react to them. It's like giving a speech, you don't know what to do with your hands. So, traveling with the party, it's scary, as, I feel like maybe I'm kind of liking them, but they're also the only early humans I've been around. Much as being a Thane, I've separated myself from the regulars of Duke and Soul. So I don't know if I like these people or they're just the ones I'm around.
Interesting. Let us give Avalos he's already got one fact
He's got it,
on his
yeah.
sheet. So we'll see if that continues here. If he indeed does actually like the party, if it's humans in general that he likes, or maybe it's just a proximity effect. Excellent. Let us continue to Alicia.
Well, I'm just gonna throw in a little bit of made up history, if you don't mind, Orf.
That's no problem with me.
Okay. Long ago, there was a militaristic order of Lathander worshipping inquisitors and zealots, named the Society of the Searing Suns. They sought out to, quote-unquote, shine a light upon the shadows and evils that dwell in them. But their methods were a bit extreme. The order was eventually rounded up and disbanded by the higher-ups of the Church of Lathander themselves, and it's been a bit of a stain on their reputation, at least for those who still kind of remember. This was at least a few centuries back. But that history hasn't gone away. History that Alicia has read during their time at Candlekeep. And now they're starting to think that maybe they were onto something. And I'll leave it at that.
I love that. Isn't it interesting how history seems to repeat itself? The flat circle of time continues to circle around people, around the world, until everyone's experiences seem to be somewhat the same.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let us move on to the Lotus. Lotus, what is your theme fact for this week?
All right, so Lotus's best and really the only real good friend she had growing up in Baltimore was her neighbor, human named Diamante. Uh, Kindled her interest in baseball and professional wrestling. Was always there for her whenever she was getting bullied and helped defend her and everything. And their paths did diverge somewhat once they reached college age. Lotus went to go study journalism, and Diamante went to do professional wrestling training. And they still kept in touch with each other. And the last contact that Lotus had with her was on Christmas Eve, the day when she was taken away. She'd gotten a text message from her. She'd been wrestling in Japan for an all-women's wrestling promotion, and sent a little promo picture that Diamante and a couple of the other wrestlers were out in front of a really nice Christmas tree in Tokyo with "Merry Christmas" in Japanese, and that was like the last message she got. And as far as Lotus is aware, she's still doing that. Though being her best friend, I wouldn't be surprised if finding out Lotus missing, she was on the first flight back to try to find out what happened.
Awesome. Well, I hope that they can figure out what has happened to Lotus on their end.
And that's her picture there.
Excellent. I love it. All right, Lotus, you have earned Factspiration. Last but not least, Akia, what is your theme fact for this week?
So Akia, when they first met the party and they were traveling together, um, basically anytime I was talking in character, that's when Akia was talking. They never made any other. There was never any talking unless they were like directly asked a question. They did not join in any conversations. They went off and tinkered by themselves, staying close to the party, but always like 2 feet away from conversations, never joining in. And it slowly, very, very slowly, and after much time, they started having joining into conversations, uh, and now they have regressed on the trip back. They are not joining in conversations again. They're acting like they did when they first met the party.
And what could be causing this regression? Is it a newly found friend or newly found objects? I guess we will have to wait and see. Excellent. You have earned Factspiration. You guys might all need it this session. Now, the date and time of your adventure. It is currently 8 p.m. in the land of Icewind Dale. Roughly, you have been here in the fortress, or near the fortress, for the last 4 hours. Right as you arrived, the Chartland dragon flew out of the roof towards 10 Towns. Your allies, who were standing back with Nildar and with the captured Duergar assassin, are basically waiting to see what is happening and what you all do next.
we have rushed out after getting our new companions and our loot, and I believe we are all hopping on the sled at this point.
Yes, the sleds. I think, considering what I had mentioned to you earlier, Orf, I think Lewis would have continued to ride along with Watto and Red, the awakened blueberry bush, on the what everyone's dubbed the quotes evil sled.
I gotcha. So then that would answer my next question for you all from the Grand Alpha. She is, of course, hoping to take the Duergar capturees, Nildar and the other, into her care. Do you release them into her care?
We have no need for them. They are all yours.
Yes, you may do with them as you will.
Perfect. Oh, and I feel like I should put a Grand Alpha here on our welcome screen so that you guys can all see her in her gloriousness. Perfect. Well, I wish you luck in your adventure then, and in taking down said Chardlin Dragon. I hope that your mission is successful.
Just to ask, there wasn't any additional supplies that the former king had that would be useful in this endeavor?
No. Unfortunately enough, most of the goods were wrecked and ravaged in the battle that my people committed against these other Duergar. I am sorry that we could not be more careful.
Is there anything that your soldiers would be able to spare?
That is an interesting question. Perhaps I could spare some extra buckets of my mushroom brew for you all if you are interested in sipping on it. It could lead to, better outcomes in all.
Along the way. It's a long journey. We'll need something to keep us warm.
Of course. And she will have her men deliver upon you all several barrels of mushroom brew to make sure that you all are well stocked for the journey.
Yeah, Lotus will speak up and say, So your mushroom brew, I've never really had anything like it. How would you describe the flavor?
It is filled with the umami of the underdog, you see. It is not for the faint of heart.
Well, I'm always open to new experiences.
OOC got a question for Lex. Is Alicia going to take that half plate armor? You do not see Akia wearing it. But it is a very, they would have identified it. It's very powerful, top tier medium armor.
It's still gonna take us like a day to get there. Alicia will take a look at it during the long rest.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll ask you about the details of what it does, and then I'll decide.
Okay. I guess the only question left is if Gaiman does anything before we leave.
No, I believe that we should just go ahead and head off against the dragon. Avalis has already gained several hours of travel on us. We should probably catch up. Don't want him dying.
you'll see Akia just waiting in the sled, not participating in any of the. They've gathered supplies, but they're just not saying anything. They're just waiting in the sled.
All right, let's shove off. We're not gonna do anything. Let's go. Time's wasting.
Guess we get moving.
Yep.
Now, everyone, I am going to take you all to a map as the Grand Alpha says goodbye to you all and good luck.
Give me so in character, they're just not saying anything because they're not there.
So I put us all onto our moving snowfield map. Of course, I need to drag the new companions out.
Does anyone else see a moving snowfield?
Nope, there's a bunch of gray.
Yep.
You guys
no
don't...
sled either.
What?
The sled and the
Yeah,
moving
there's
snow are
no
not there.
actual map. Or at least,
What?
We're just on a grid.
yeah. There we go.
Oh, there it goes.
There we go.
You see
Oh,
snow?
I see what was happening. I'm
You see
sorry,
sled?
everyone.
Things were at
Everything-
different levels.
For some reason, everything was invisible, a la Clay Aiken. So we can arrange ourselves in how we would like the sleds to be orientated. Oh, Nildar, you're gonna be gone, unfortunately enough.
Isn't that unfortunate?
You're right.
Not really. Alright. So if, I'm not going to ask you for control of Watto, because Watto is his own man. He can do his own thing.
Sure. Here, Wano can move over.
I guess. Yeah. Where would Akia 11 be riding? Would he be riding with me?
I don't know.
I mean,
Akia,
I would allow that if they wanted.
Would you let Akia 11 ride with you, Akia?
13 is almost actively not doing. Like they've almost
zoned out.
It seems like they're almost in like sleep mode.
Mm.
They do take note of where 11 goes, but that's it. They don't say anything.
I gotcha. Okay, well, before we do anything, is there any scenes that anyone wishes to play out here as you have pushed off on the 24-hour journey to Dugan's Hole from your current location in the mountains in the spine of the world?
I've got a scene, but it won't activate until the long rest officially happens.
Okay.
All right. I guess in that case, I'll just remind. I'd say probably a short while after we've actually shoved off, I'll scoot up close to Watto in the sled here and just talk to him, say like, "So, Watto, while we were in the fortress there, we came across a devil who had apparently aligned themselves with Dorgar to assist them in their efforts."
A devil, you say? That is quite a frightening concept, combining the might of the Underdark with the fury of the Hells. What happened?
Well, we did fight it for a while. We didn't even know it was a devil at first. It had disguised itself as another Dorgar, but eventually it caught wind that one of us was referred to the progeny of someone known as the Prisoner, and wasn't sure what it meant. Asked to clarify, and it said apparently it was talking about me, and it revealed its true form and said that Asmodeus was interested in me, because apparently my father, the one who had been searching for and who left me and my mother all those years ago is apparently one of the lords of hell.
His jaw drops. Your father is one of the devil lords of hell?
Yes, I mean, admittedly, I'm not too knowledgeable on this. They didn't give me his name. They only just kept referring to him as the prisoner. Do you know anything about that?
Well, using my knowledge of the arcane, I believe I've heard of one such lord. The Lord Levistus, the lord of the realm of hell known as Stygia.
Yes, this devil did mention that he somehow, Asmodeus had found out that he had astral projected himself through space and time, which I guess is how we met my mother, and she visibly shudders, and I guess how I came to be.
As it seems a strange thing that he could potentially project himself through space and time to, well, have a child.
Yes. And this devil did offer to take me to Asmodeus. He said that he would have all the answers I sought, but I very much refused. You see, in my world, we have a saying. It goes, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Of course. And just as I have learned with my time consorting with demons when I was a cultist of Grazd, nothing good comes from the lower planes. Not hell, not the abyss, not Gehenna. Nowhere where fiends realm and fiends stay should we be.
And why do I tell you this? Because with how I feel about you, I don't want there being any secrets between us. And I just wanted to be honest, and I just wanted to know if this makes you feel any differently about me.
He looks to you with a stern expression. He says, "It does not change how I feel or how I think. Just as when I told you all of my past, you did not shun me or turn me back from the group or cast me out. Nor shall I do that to you, for you have done nothing wrong. You are simply born. You have committed no sin."
He smiles. I'm like, well, I don't know if I go that far, but I thank you. She'll lean forward and gently embrace him.
He will embrace you back.
And then, still holding him, she'll sort of like look over at the others in their sleds and just whisper to him, like, there is something else I wanted to discuss with you. It's the others have taken on various items made of the Chardolin, and I fear it already may have taken some negative toll on them.
Yes, the material seems to have a ability to harness negative emotion and negative psionic energies and cast that to the people around it. I think that no one should keep it in their person or on their person for very long.
The unfortunate thing is we think we may need it for the fight to come, but once that's settled, I may need your help with trying to convince them to get rid of it.
I will do my best, and if I can help convince them of throwing away these evil metals, I shall do so.
Well, if anyone can do it. It's my big nerdy cat man, and I'll reach up and ruffle his hair.
Ah, I've been ruffled. Well, I will do my best, but no promises.
And I think that'll do.
Excellent. We see that Lotus and Wata are kind of cuddled up in the sled as the sled dogs continue to race across the frozen tundra of Icewind Dale. Now, is there any scene that Alicia wishes to play out here as you are rushing through the snow?
I was gonna ask, are we close enough that it would have been possible to hear that conversation before they started whispering?
Let's see, because they're on this sled here,
Yep.
and you guys are on this sled here. These people are over here. I would say that this would be pretty impossible to hear because of the dogs running, them whispering, and the blowing wind. Of course, we could leave things up to chance, and I'll say, if you could make a nearly impossible perception check, you might be able to get some glimpses of the conversation.
You can guide yourself.
A 25 is really good, but it's not nearly impossible level of action there.
Well, there was two parts of that conversation. I think the first one was about the devils, and then the second one was the Charlotte items. I think Alicia's more concerned on the, because it's all peachy and fine here about the Charlotte. She was more, or they were more concerned about the devil thing that was being talked about.
I see. That
And
was
I think
before.
yeah, that was before they started whispering.
Yeah,
Yes.
that we weren't really whispering about. We were just talking at like normal tone to each other.
In that case, a 25, I think, would be more than enough to overhear the gist and through line of the conversation that Watto and Lotus were having about the devils.
Right. Okay. We'll file that one away. Also, sorry, I'm looking for something. Do I not? Oh, I do. Would I have been able to read their lips? Because I do have the observant feat.
Oh shit. Yeah, with the observant feat, absolutely. I believe that's even in the get-go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they were speaking in a language that I can understand, then she wants all the hot goss. Yep.
Well, yeah, that's like
Yes, that's exactly what she wants. Hot gossip, nothing else.
They were speaking in common, so you would definitely would have been able to understand it.
Oh man, does this go back to what we were talking about earlier? Well, you see, the thing is, Lotus doesn't have lips. No, I'm just kidding.
Damn
I was
it!
gonna go that far, but now
Well,
she
then
brought
she
it
doesn't
up.
have other certain feminine attributes.
Wano and Catman and Dragon Lady. Damn it! They both don't have lips. I've been foiled.
Cats have lips.
Yeah.
I say they do because one of my cats is kissing me right now. Isn't that right, Walter?
Aw.
Walter. Okay. Yeah. So you would have understood everything that was happening because you could read their lips.
Okay. So yeah, at the top of the screen, there's just Alicia will remember this. But the only other thing that they're doing is really just looking ahead and just occasionally just flexing the glove, looking at it every once in a while. That's it.
Is the ring on under the glove, or is it on the other hand?
Ooh.
I feel like it'd have to be on the other hand. Like, you would have to move it. Like, if it's like a proper glove, you wouldn't want to wear any rings under it.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's described as a gauntlet, but yeah, I would probably say the ring is on. Because I'm thinking that the gauntlet is on Alicia's left hand, or left arm, whereas the ring is on the right arm, or right hand.
There we go. Then that works out.
All right. Akia will, if it's okay, the next thing will happen, I guess, would be Akia describing the armor, inspecting the armor, and telling Alicia about it.
Sure. You guys are still on Sledback, and you are explaining the half-plate armor to her. Please continue.
All right. This is the Shardlin half-plate of Zardarak. It provides very good protection and the ability to continue fighting by sacrificing some Shardlin seems to be imbued into the armor.
By sacrificing Shardlin. But
Yeah,
as a power source?
Yeah, just yes, it seems that the Shardlin has a powerful enchantment on it that can protect you
I see.
in multiple ways. However, I do worry that maybe I was being hasty with the use of this Shardlin. Perhaps it is dangerous.
What? Nonsense. It's been serving us well so far, has it not?
I don't. And they just sort of shrug.
Akia, I see you've been doubting yourself recently. You've done good work. You should be proud of that.
They just sort of shrug.
Alicia will kind of move closer to you a little bit, and will place a hand on your shoulder. I can only give you words of encouragement, but some of that confidence has to come from within. We can't have your candle burning out too soon, now can we?
Sure.
And then we'll return back to where they were.
All right. Mechanically, something's gonna happen depending on whether or not you take the Shardlin half plate.
What, another charisma save?
Well, that's separate. I'm just like going through their infusions, and depending on if you take the armor or not, will affect which infusion Akia takes the next morning.
Ah, I see.
So what's the decision here? Does Alicia don not just the gauntlet, but the armor as well?
Oh, we're making a decision
And
now.
the ring.
You don't want to make a decision now. I mean, we can hash it out later. You don't have to necessarily commit unless it's a major upgrade for you.
I wouldn't say it's a major upgrade. It would increase my... I think it increase it by 1 or 2.
It is.
No, it's 2. It increased my AC by 2.
Yeah, it's +1 half plate.
Oh, then 3. Yeah, that's quite a bit of an upgrade.
And it also, anytime you drop to 0 once per long rest, it can bring you back up to 1.
Oh, it's fine. I'm a cleric. I don't have to worry about that. Just make sure I have Death Ward prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Also gives you advantage on intimidation checks
Oh, well.
because of your dark aura.
Oh,
Yeah, that's going to be noticeable.
Alicia, what's with the black eyeliner? It's just a phase, okay?
You wouldn't understand.
It's like when Robin Sparkles went dark.
Sure, let me put on the My Chemical Romance for you.
Yes, I love you.
I love you. You just see it scratched into all of the sleds. Sure. Alicia will take it. Some reason I always find a way of fucking up my characters with cursed items. Why stop now?
There we go.
All right,
It's a trend.
I've done a trade request.
And I have confirmed.
So all now that Alicia needs, because she's got the black Chardalyn half-plate armor, the black Chardalyn gauntlet. She needs like a black Chardalyn helmet, and then we'll have Darth Alicia.
At least I think I confirmed. I don't know if I see it on my sheet.
It says it went through.
If not, here, I can just give one to you real quick. Boop. You have been given
I see
Chardalyn
that.
half-plate.
Yeah, it does require attunement. Then yes. If we are
I thought you
timey,
were full up on attunement slots.
yeah. If we are doing the
Well,
whole timey-wimey of taking a long rest and whatnot,
that
then
ring-
she'll unattune to the ring. Yeah, that's what I
That
was
ring
thinking.
might not have attunement in the morning.
Yeah, that's what I figured as well.
It probably there's a
but they
very
won't know that.
very good chance it will not have a magic attunement in the morning.
But yeah, they won't know that, so that's totally fine.
All right. Well, if everyone's cool with it, can I do the scene for the next morning?
Before we move on to that, I wanted to ask Gaiman if during travel, is there anything that Gaiman would want to say to anyone in the sleds?
Gaiman will be keeping to himself. He will be sort of looking over towards Akia and Alicia's sled as if he wants to be part of the conversation, but is distrustful of Akia 11 and the new Goliath tall tree. He doesn't know what they're about and is concerned that they might have an agenda.
You'll see Akia 13 actually look over at you a few times.
I just love that
Doesn't
half
say
the
anything.
parties meeting like doppelgangers.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's any way, Gaiman can sort of bolster Akia, just fist, stay strong, brother, sort of look to Akia.
Sure. Akia will notice it, maybe nod.
Excellent. So we see a little nod from Akia to Gaiman, and what else?
I got nothing else.
Right. Well, before we pause the sleds for the night for you all to get a rest, Avalos, you have been flying on the back of this giant owl for a little while. You know that you will reach the city of Dugan's Hole in about 12 hours from when you left the fortress of Zardarok Sunblight.
So, since I know the flight path and obviously the general layout, can we go back to the map for a hot second?
Sure. To the start
The home
screen?
screen, yeah.
And activate.
Can you flash on there where we're coming from, where Sunblight is?
Okay, I'm gonna have to go to a different map, unfortunately, because this one is not wide enough. So let's activate this. Oh, that's Bryn Shander. I'm sorry, everybody. Where is my Here it is. Activate.
Where is my super suit?
Where is my super map? Here's my super map. So currently, you guys are leaving from here.
Oh, okay. Then what he would do is probably fly up this way, kind of split the difference between Dugan's Hole and Goodmead, and until you can see, if Dugan's Hole doesn't look like a smoking hole, then he'll continue to go there. But if it looks like he's already bypassed, then he'll head to Goodmead, and if he's already done that, then he'll go to East Haven. Like he'll just kind of try to head off the dragon if he can.
Sure. So in total, because you guys were at the fortress for around 4 hours, you will be flying for about 12. You guys will get there after the dragon has been gone for about 16 hours, which is a thing.
Yeah, this may break his heart. He may already start heading toward East Haven.
Okay. No problem. So, Avlis, as you and your owl friend are flying through the air of Icewind Dale, you hear a strange chittering noise as you are flying. As you look around in the skies, thankfully a relatively clear night, you see large insectoid creatures are flying through the air. They look like a strange combination of dragonfly and bat, as they are flying close to your position. You would recognize these as Icewind Dale blood-drinking mosquitoes. They have these further south, but they are much smaller and much easier to deal with. Unfortunately enough, in the Dale, they are very big, and they love to hunt at night. Thankfully, your party has not encountered them. You, unfortunately enough, seem to have drawn the attention of some with your large, juicy owl.
Does my owl seem to be faster than them with a 60-foot flight speed?
They seem like, it might be 1 for 1 here. So they might catch up to you very quickly with their chittering, hovering wings and their long proboscis.
Man. Then Avalis is gonna start. What do I got that's at range? Let's see. I guess it's gonna have to be a firebolt because that is 120 feet. So that's the longest one I got.
You would have
by far.
any 4th level spells that you gained from the heroic level up.
Oh yeah, I don't. On a random encounter, if I'm going to see the dragon, I don't want to spend anything big. So we're gonna
die.
We're gonna cantrip this until it looks like I'm gonna die. So he would direct the owl to stay away as much as possible, like go around, dash, that kind of stuff, while Avalis fires fire bolts to deter them.
Sure. So go ahead and give me an attack roll against these Icewind Dale sturges.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Please hit.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you right away, you just freaking smite one of those creatures. It burns into a huge ball of flame as it starts careening down towards the ground. The other creatures begin communicating in a buzzing sort of noise as they see one meet its fate.
And that damage includes the new thing where I had my wisdom modifier because of whatever it's called.
I think I had it in there.
Yeah, no, it is in there. I just if Orphan's wondering why the damage looks really good. Yeah, there's a +4 in there. Yeah.
And a 2d10 crit, that's going to be pretty spicy on its own. The creatures continue to buzz, and as they look like they're going to make their next action, party on the dog sleds. You have been going for quite a while, making your way back up towards the cities of Ten Towns from the spine of the world, leaving the legacy of Zardarok far behind. You know that the best course of action is to follow the 10 trail back to 10 Towns. As you feel your breath become more and more visible in the frigid air, driving your sleds with relentless determination, you swear you can hear the distant cry of that mechanical dragon. The landscape is whizzing by you, a blur of snow and ice. However, there seems to be something else. As a hidden cackle comes over the air. Your sleds begin to slow slightly, as if the ground itself is grabbing them. And heroes aboard the sleds, more I should say, Gaiman aboard the sled, you feel the familiar presence of that hag close by. And heroes on the sleds, and my hero up in the sky, to escape from your current positions. I'm rolling you all into initiative, because we have entered into a skill challenge, where my heroes on the sleds need to escape from the hag that you all pissed off not too long ago, and Avalis, you need to escape from these Icewind Dale sturges, lest they begin to, well, drink your blood and then the blood of your owl.
Out of curiosity, do we share skills? Like, is it two separate challenges or is it one challenge total?
We're gonna have one challenge total here. That way my brain doesn't break, because I'm pretty sure it would. Oh, not that. Let's play some cool music. Excellent. And we will begin. So, Gaiman, on your sleds, you can feel the rudders being slowed by the ground in an unnatural way. You can feel that presence of the hag. This is a skill challenge. Your group will need 4 successes before you hit 4 failures. The DC of your challenges, everyone, you have a +3 proficiency bonus. +5, that's 8, is going to be a 16. There are 3 secret skills. Gaiman, why don't you kick us off here, bud?
So, does it look like the snow itself is grabbing at the dogs and the sled? Or does it just look like it's slow going in general?
It looks as if the snow and ice itself is forming into tiny little fingers and reaching out to try to pull your sled down into the snow.
In that case, what makes sense is that I bonus action rage, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would like to not activate the whip, but using the whip as a piece of leverage. Whip the front of the dog sled, attach it to the harness, and then running out in front of the dogs, sort of being the pack leader, adding my strong strength to pull the dogs and the sled free, and I will call out to the others, grab onto the sled, let us create a chain, and we will pull together out of this snow.
Excellent. That is a very well thought out plan. I would say athletics would make sense for this, as you are using the power of your body to drive the sled forward. And because you're raging, you do have advantage on this rage check. That is a success. That is the first success that you guys need. As a group, the tiny fingers of snow that are trying to slow you down seem not to be able to hold you or your sleds back. Excellent. Alicia, you see that Gaiman has ran out, acting as the alpha dog. What do you do?
I would like to... Sorry, quick question. Was this before or after we've rested for the evening?
This is before you've gotten your long rest.
Okay.
I'm so evil.
Such a bad boy. I would like to... I'm just gonna go with a perception
Okay,
check.
sorry to interrupt. This was before our long rest, so did we gain any resources back from the impromptu level up, or have we not leveled up then?
You guys would have leveled up.
So would I have gotten any rages back or anything like that?
Let me check. I think you may get...
I think I
Rages
would
as
have
you level up.
gotten maybe one. Because I was going to say, if that was impacted by we didn't properly rest, then
So you now have 4 rages.
yes,
for long
that's what's
rest.
on the sheet. I want to say at level 6 it was 3.
Yeah, I think you're good. We will continue the narrative.
Okay, I just wanted to be honest about the roll, because if I didn't have that rage, then it would have been a 13.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, Alicia.
Sorry, Alicia.
No, you're good. Yeah, I'm curious about what resources we have at this point too. Then yeah, I'm just gonna make a perception check, and if I see any other hazards that are coming out to kind of hamper us and whatnot.
Okay, with a 24, you see that the ice and snow itself is starting to elevate off the ground and starting to turn into icy tendrils, or some people call them tentacles. And it looks as if the snow is going to start wrapping itself around you all and your sleds like an octopus.
All right, yeah. See what's happening and alerts the others to the danger.
Lotus, you see that the tentacles are forming out of the snow. You, of course, have seen an anime like this before. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know if Lotus has seen it like that. You guys are at 2 successes. Speaking of which, it is little Lotus's turn.
All right. So I guess being warned about that, and let's see here, warned about that, and seeing those starting to form. Let me see. I think. I guess Lotus will start thinking back to anything she might have read before when she got here about this, or how to counteract it possibly. So I would like to roll an Arcana check.
Absolutely. And you can try to affect this by using any resources to gain yourself an advantage or a bonus.
Let me see what I have that might work with that. All right. Not really seeing anything like here, but yeah, all right, I'll go ahead and roll it.
Excellent. Oof. With a 10, that would give you a...
Let me see. Do I want to? All right, tell you what, I think I'm in pretty good shape. Let me go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and spend my Faxpiration.
Sure.
D8.
D8.
D8. A
D8,
D8
right.
until level 10. Ooh,
Ooh,
15.
just barely.
Yeah, so that is going to be a success. Your arcane knowledge would let you know that this is definitely the work of a hag, and you can see it by the shadowy auras and the deep purple energies that seem to surround the snow as it is animating off the ground.
All right, I will say, internally, Lotus is only very slightly relieved because she at first thought this might have been Asmodeus trying to come for her, but it's like, oh no, it's just the hag, and then it's like, oh fuck, it's this hag.
Well, everyone, you're sitting at 3 successes of the 4 you need, and you just need to hit 4 successes before you get to 4 failures. We're looking good. Akia 13, you have heard all of this information and seen it all unfold in front of you. What do you do?
Akia runs up to the front of their sled. Basically goes to use their flamethrower on the ice to try and clear away some of the tendrils. Before they activate it, though, they hesitate. They stop, and there's a pause, and they instead put that away, grab the ice knife, and they are going to try and share the ice walk trait with the sled.
Ooh, yeah, that's super dope. You can make your next check at advantage with that. That's super cool.
Would that be an Arcana check then?
Ooh, if you do Arcana, it will be at a higher DC because Lotus just made an Arcana.
Yeah, but I don't know what else to use except I got History. I can't maybe sleight of hand to.
Sleight of hand would work for me.
Okay, I'll do a sleight of hand check. $16.
That is a success. That is going to put you guys at 4 successes, no failures.
That'll ice does not inhibit movement with the, so I imagine just the tentacles of ice try and just latch on, and they just like slip off like we're coated with oil or something.
Ooh, absolutely. You guys are all olive oily boys. Wait, that's a different campaign. Anyways, thank you, Akia. Now going up into the sky, Avalis, these sturges seem to be not frightened from their ally dying. If anything, they seem motivated to come after your sweet juices.
What? Okay. He's going to try and reassure his companion by casting Beast Bond, so he can communicate telepathically with them and help, outmaneuver these guys. So they'll spend that spell slot to basically roll animal handling with advantage.
Love it. And these are beasts.
That was a random side effect.
Ooh, glad it was with advantage.
And that is a success. You're able to start communicating
by the nubbin.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that 9 looked like a 6. That was scary.
So you were able to succeed there on getting through to these sturgeons. Going into round 2, things, as always, seem to have gotten worse. For my party that is on the sleds, it seems that the world has changed for the worse. The frozen path, so clear before, is beginning to twist and turn, as if leading you into a maze of snow and ice. Unfortunately, leading you to a place where this lake hag's magic might be at its most powerful. The shadows grow to enormous sizes, dancing across the wall. Illusions and hallucinations begin to plague your minds. All of this orchestrated by the wicked hag. A piercing screech fills the air, a reminder of the Shardlin dragon. The DC has increased slightly to a 16. We will need 5 successes before 5 failures. We have 3 new secret skills, and our previous skills have reset. Gaiman, you are pulling the sled with your massive bulk.
Could I use survival to kind of not so much pick a path based off of the landscape? So trying to, I guess, head more towards, if there are like patches of trees or like stonier ground, something where there's less snow for the hag to call on resources.
Excellent. Yeah, you could definitely make a survival check here. And I think that is a great idea. And let me just check here. It is not one of the secret skills, but I will give you an advantage because that is a great idea.
Okay.
Excellent. A 21. That is a success. It's not a critical success, but it is a success. Gaiman, you are pointing out that you need to get out of this maze, out from this snow, leading the dogs, leading the party on a better path. Excellent. Alicia, the dark powers of this hag are trying to pull you all out of your roles of Thane. They are trying to stop you from saving the people. What do you do?
Seeing the shadows growing around Alicia and their companion, Alicia will stand up and will yell out, "You dare think this darkness will swallow us? Let the light of Lathander show you." And they are going to spend a channel divinity to... where is it? They're gonna do Radiance of the Dawn.
Oh, hell yeah.
Don't need to put that on template. So, taking out their holy symbol and kind of shining it in front of them, emit sunlight in a 30-foot radius sphere centered around yourself. Any magical darkness, such as that created by the darkness spell in the sphere, is dispelled. Additionally, if there's any creatures, they have to make a saving throw or they take damage.
I'm going to grant you guys an automatic success for this ability because it is so perfectly catered to what is happening right now as you burn away at the shadows and the darkness that are trying to encircle your party. You burn away at the magic that is trying to take you off course. That is perfect. You guys are at 2 successes.
Maybe the Inquisitors are onto something. Maybe we just have to shine a light onto the shadows and burn it away.
Oh man. You're bringing me back to the Obi-Wan series and to the Inquisitors. Okay, Lotus.
All right. Let's see. I would guess, piggybacking off of that, Lotus would. Yeah. All right. I guess I'll give this a try. Lotus would call out and say, "Do not impede us, hag. We are going to save." It's like, we want to save the 10 towns. Aren't you worried that the dragon might dwindle your already shrinking customer base? I'd say that's my attempt at a persuasion check.
I love it. Yes, give us a persuasion check.
All right, 19.
A 19 is a success. You guys are rolling hot here. You got 3 successes, no failures of the 5 necessary. You hear a thoughtful on the wind as you make your persuasion check.
Okay. Akia's turn.
Yes, Akia's turn.
I don't think it's like the best thing I have, but I think it's what Akia would do. I'm going to, and if you allow it, I'll use an unwavering loyalty to try and do what Gaiman said earlier, to join up, try and join up the sleds, try and pull them together so that his strength can add to their ability, add to their power.
I love it. Yeah. What do you think would be the most appropriate skill for you to use in this?
Probably athletics.
Athletics, all right. I think that could work. That's a critical success. So with
All
that,
right.
you guys
Yeah,
jump
so I
from
dash
3
out on my-
successes
on my,
to 5.
On my Segway.
Excellent. So yeah, you you jump up on your Segway and you help lead the party, joining these sleds together. Alrighty. Well, you guys are at 5 successes. Avalus, your beast bond with the Sturges seems to have made a difference. However, one of them seems to have a very fat belly. They begin to open their mouth wide. As they do so, they begin to regurgitate what appears to be tiny baby sturgeons that are starting to come out of their mouth, looking hungrily upon you. These children need to feed. What do you do?
I wonder if I can just cast sleep and have them all fall out of the sky.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, because they probably don't have a shit ton of hit points. I think that's what I'll do. I don't know what check that would be though.
If you cast sleep here, it would be an automatic success because these creatures very small.
Okay, then yep, I'll burn another first level spell slot. Stupid template. I'm sorry, you'll have to delete this.
You can right click when it asks you to make a template and they'll just cancel it.
Oh, well, you tell me now.
Well, I didn't realize you were trying to do that.
And to be fair, you all didn't realize that I was going to have a bunch of baby sturges try to eat Avalus's face.
That is also true.
Excellent. So you see a bunch of these baby sturges, as they begin flying out of their mother's mouth, just begin to fall towards the ground and become pieces of just large puddles as they splat.
So explain that, Hale.
The owl says, "That's a good move. It's a good move, boss." Okay, the third round. And don't you know it, things have gotten even worse. The wind has been replaced with the wicked laughter of the hag that was combining her breast milk with Chardolin dust to create hag crystal. I don't know if that's spoilers or not. The dragon's roars, still present in your mind, are so far ahead. You are being pushed to your physical limits. Your dons are straining against their harnesses, their breath ragged in the cold air. You feel her presence as if she could very much touch you in this moment. The DC has increased. You will need 6 successes before 6 failures. There are 3 new secret skills. We are back to the top. Avalus. Excuse me. Gaiman, you are up.
Not particularly charismatic. I will do this. I will attempt to rally the sled dogs by acting like another dog to show unity and camaraderie with them. So I will do a performance check. I will try and pretend to be the best alpha dog I can be to motivate them.
Is one of the secret skills.
Wow.
Oh, all right.
I was not expecting that in this situation.
Mm-hmm. To bring up your allies, well, a 17. That is a success with the secret skill. As you act like a dog, the dogs are all motivated to act more like Gaiman and are pressing even harder against their harnesses and operating at maximum efficiency.
They all rage.
Yeah, you see all of the dogs rage. Here, let me put a dog out, and then I'm going to make it rage.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, it's a husky too. This...
Thank you, Gaiman. You have powered these dogs up, so much so that they've grown to titanic size.
That's amazing.
As they are growling and working you all forward. All right, Alicia, Gaiman has gotten you a success. You see that these dogs are powered up.
Sorry, I'm just looking through my list of skills here. From a knowledge standpoint, I think Alicia would like to attempt a religion check to see if there's anything more specifically that we can use to counteract this hag.
Absolutely, you could use a religion check here.
It was either religion or history that I'm thinking of. But I'll do religion. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'll do religion.
What, 16 is pretty close.
I will succeed at a cost.
Oh, hell yes. This is so fun. Dark Alicia. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Just the level of exhaustion.
Well, it's starting to stack now because I already have unlucky too.
Oh, ooh. Absolutely. You want to finish this up pretty quickly then.
Yeah.
But yeah, you succeed, and you know that this hag's magic can be countered by your divinely powered might, as their magic comes from the abyss, and only the magic of the divine can counter that of the dark.
Cool. Alright. I don't know if I would share that with the rest of the group because I don't think there's any other divine casters that we have.
But you do know it, and you are sitting at now at 2 of the 6 successes you will need. Excellent. Lotus, the darkness grows. The laughter is filling your ears. You swear you can feel the cold, wet hands of the hag upon your shoulders.
Alright, well I definitely do not like the feeling of that. I would say, feel the shadowy figure moving closer to me. I'm gonna go ahead and chuck a firebolt at it.
Oh, doing a spell attack, okay. Oof. An 11, unfortunately enough, will not make
Do you have
contact.
your expiration?
I already spent it on my last, earlier.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
You're good. So,
Alright.
all right. So, your bolt flies wide, and your party has 2 successes. one failure. Alrighty. Akia, you see that Alicia is, or not Alicia, excuse me. Lotus is throwing fireballs randomly into the sky.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what else I could do. I got history and arcana.
It looks like you have the nature proficiency as well.
I don't know how I could wiggle one of those in there. I know I could do arcana, but they're not about to use their flamethrower. I will do a...
Hey, I bullshitted my way into a religion check, so anything's possible, my friend.
Maybe a nature check to sort of do what Gaiman's survival check earlier. See if there's some way I can use nature, if I can just notice anything that I could use to help us get out of this with a nature check.
Absolutely. Give me a nature check. Do you have any resources you want to expend to make this a advantage?
I've been looking at that too, and I think the two things I've come up with, and I guess I'll just throw them out there. I had, before the long rest, I had one first level spell slot left, so I could either look for like a dog, the most tired dog, and give them a helpful hypodermic, or I could thunder wave to like try and break up, like try and run out ahead, try and thunder wave some ice in the way, or if like something was blocking the path, I could thunder wave it.
Okay.
But that's what I came up with. Is one of those two things. I'll do that. I'll do thunder wave, and I'll just look for something like that would hinder us, and I'll try and jump out and thunder wave it.
Sure.
Before it gets a chance.
So for this, because you're going to do Thunder Wave, go ahead and give me a caster check at advantage. So it's a straight intelligence check. Or give me a nature check at advantage. So let's see, an 11 plus 7, so it's an 18.
That would have been... I did an intelligence check, so that would have been... that would not have been... That would have been a 14, I believe.
Plus 4, plus 3, 14. Okay, so you're behind by 3 points here. 3 points. Do you wish to use your Faxpiration?
Would anyone be upset if I did not use my Faxpiration?
You would be at 2 successes, 2 failures.
Is it 5 and 5 is the limit?
It's 6 and 6.
6 and 6. I'm just gonna fail this one, I think.
Okay, you guys are at 2 and 2. All right, the darkness grows. Avalus, you didn't think it could get worse.
But somehow...
Oh boy, it has gotten worse. The Sturges seem to have a weird mutant ability to start morphing into one another to create larger Sturges. As they are chasing you, you see that they are mushing their bodies together, linking their internal organs, growing out their wings, and growing strange eyes, teeth, and proboscises all over their bodies, turning themselves from beasts to strange monstrosities. What do you do?
Well, I drop concentration on Beast Bond. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I have anything remotely helpful at first level. I don't. Let's see. I will. What's the sky look like? What's the weather?
It is clear, but of course it is cold. You know, never-ending Rime, winter for the last 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to roll that, but I guess we'll let it go. I guess it's survival at an 18.
Survival could work here.
I will use survival to I guess I didn't mean to even roll that. To kind of see if I can find like let's see, are there some sort of like low path, or like if I could like skirt through the trees, like try to lose them, and like cover and that kind of stuff, like use my knowledge of the land and the environment to my advantage, basically.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's a success. So now you're at 3 successes, 2 failures. However, because you are ending the round not fully successful, this triggers a complication. For everyone. Let's see here. Mr. Akia, can you roll us a d6, please? Excellent. Okay, a 5. All right. Thanks to your successful checks, you seem to be going on the correct path. But my party that is chilling on the dog sledge, trying to get away from this hag magic, I'm going to need everyone to give me a strength check, please.
Okay. So a check, not like save or anything?
Correct. This is a strength check. Oof. Okay, so Lotus, Akia, and Alicia. The terrain has become quite rough, and as you all are bouncing in the sleds, 3 of you bounce out of the sled. And you are now rolling in the snow and ice as Gaiman, undeterred, is just dragging the sled forward.
Can I roll something to see if I notice a change? Like maybe not see them fall out, but notice a shift in weight, perhaps.
Oh, sure. Give me a perception check.
Not my strongest suit. We have expiration, right?
Yeah, you have expiration. You know what we could do for this? Because you are noticing a change while you're using your body, this is a perception strength.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
This is like, when you are trying to feel a change when you're in the middle of a set of barbell squats, and you're trying to figure out if you're about to shit your pants or not on rep 5 or 6.
Oh my god!
That's a specific example.
Yeah.
But
he's probably not wrong.
This totally never happened to me. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I was about to say, sounds like you're speaking from personal
This is
experience there.
We've got fanspiration, don't we? Like 1 or 2?
We got 3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Would
Yeah,
anyone
go ahead and
object
grab it if you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use one.
Well, I was gonna say, do you have advantage on just athletic checks or any strength check when you're raging?
Let me look.
I'm trying to remember.
You have gain advantage on strength checks. So this is a strength check.
Yeah,
Oh,
strength.
never mind then. Well, we'll keep the fanspiration. Oh yeah, I notice.
You notice your head whips around, and you see that the 3 nerdier members of the party are all rolling around in the snow.
Nerds.
In that case, time to turn this convoy around, and we're going to do a big old arc to try and give them a chance to, hop back on.
Absolutely, Gaiman. So how do you arc the sled back around to pick up these homies?
Gaiman's going to bellow out,
Dogs with me! And he is just going to, using his strength, he is just going to force and will it, and it's going to be a big arc. And hopefully he's going to be able to line it up so he's, coming alongside everyone that's fallen, so they can get a chance to like jump on or roll on or something. Because this is going to be their best bet. Because if it's momentum, we're fucked.
Mm-hmm.
So another athletics check.
Yes, we could do athletics here, and I don't think athletics has been used in this round yet, so this is not at a higher
No,
DC.
we're starting fresh.
Oh yeah, that is
25.
So everyone, you're gonna have to watch out because that sled has just been banked, flipped around, a la Paul Walker and the Fast and the Furious. As Gaiman is coming back for you, the supercharged dogs on rage steroids are ready to collect you and throw you into the back. So you're now at 4 successes, everyone. I love it. Alicia, you think that you are almost clear of this evil that you have been trying to escape, but then you fell out of the sled. Now you're not so sure.
Alicia's done with this bullshit. They are going to kind of place their hands together, and as they start spreading them apart, a bead of light starts to form, and then it starts to grow larger and larger and larger to where it's like the size of a volleyball, and it is giving off a crap ton of light. As they are also going to use that to dispel darkness around them again. Last level spell, third level spell slot as they cast Daylight.
Damn. Awesome. I'm going to say because you're using a 3rd level spell slot here, that is an instant success as the entire landscape is lit up. As it is, there is a terrible face on the horizon staring down at you all. It is the face of the hag.
And when Alicia sees the face, they will look up at it and meet it.
Damn. You guys are so hardcore now.
Alicia has subscribed to this new podcast called Charlotte Madness. It's really great.
It's like the new murder podcast for white girls, but except now you become a murderer. It's really good. Okay, that is going to be a success. So you guys are at 5 successes of the 6 you need. Lotus.
All right. So as the slides are coming back around, so that Lotus can make sure she's seeing what she's doing, I'll go ahead and action. I'll pop cantrip light. You'll see her boop, just sort of boop the Lotus mask here. That'll come up on it, and I would like to do an acrobatics check to try to run up and jump back onto the sled.
Absolutely. I'm going to give you advantage because you can clearly see the sled because of the giant sun ball that has started to glow in the air.
All right. Natural 20!
Hell yes. Lotus, can you explain how cool the sick flip you just did is to us?
Yeah, I imagine it's like, she'll remembering the aerobics classes she took back home. It's like, remember the instructor taught her, how to breathe properly, and then it's like breathe in, and so you breathe out, and then she jumps up and lands here, and as she does, she'll quickly do a bit of a twirl and just sort of like grab Watto and then just dip down a little bit. Just say, did you miss me?
Watto goes, that was fantastic. And he offers you a fist bump.
Give him a fist bump and then just give him a little smooch on the lips before turning them both upright.
I love it. All right, you guys.
I've been smooched.
He's been smooched. Akia, you guys are at 6 successes, but how can you make this even more cool? Because you are now in the snow.
So we've succeeded, basically, and this is so if I fail, it'd be okay.
It would be okay, but you know,
All right, then
anything could
thematically,
happen.
then thematically, I think maybe at this point, Akia's fallen out of the sled, and they're just not quite with it at this moment, and they just have like this relief that comes over them as they fall out of the sled for a moment, and they just let that relief of not having the guilt of sitting next to number 11 washes over them, and they don't move, and they're just in the snow, on their hands and knees, and then Gaiman can just like run over and pick them up, and they're just surprised.
Yeah, I'm definitely grabbing your ass and throwing you up.
Okay, then can you, as you're laying in the snow, I'm getting like almost like a play dead sort of thing. Can you give us a performance check or a deception check as you're just laying in the snow?
$17.
17 is pretty good, but you're not fooling anybody. They know that you're there, and they know that you want to go in that sled. Which it's a failure, because you needed to hit an 18, I believe. But that's okay. So, back to Avilis. Avilis, there is the monstrosity of a sturge behind you that is morphed together and starting to form mucousy bullets to shoot at you.
What? I am going to. I'm sorry. As perception's been used, but animal handling has not. Is that a true statement?
They
That is a true
reset each
statement.
round, if I remember.
Hmm? Yep, it resets each round.
Okay, yeah. I'll
Or
use
each
a.
stage, I should say.
I'll use animal hand. Ooh, did I use animal handling last time? What did I use?
No, so like during this whole thing, you can use it again because it's a reset because it's a new stage.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm just trying to remember if I used it last turn, but yeah. So I'll use animal hand. Oh, I used survival. That's right. Animal handling. Straight up, I'll just try to just use that skill to maneuver the owl away from the shots. What could go wrong? Hey, 24.
I love it. So you were able to angle the owl, outmaneuver, and lose this monstrosity of a sturge, as both parties have succeeded in their skill challenges. You leave the hag magic behind, and you can finally set up a camp far away from these deadly creatures. And Avilis, you can continue to fly on your owl towards the cities of Tentacles. Safely, or more safely than before. And I'm sure that Akia has been waiting for this moment. Akia, you are back in the sled after falling. Soon it comes to a stop. You all can set up camp. And you can finally have that scene with Akia 11.
Well, yeah. As I think Alicia will probably be the one that notices, but yeah, the ring that they're wearing, they can probably sense that the magic sort of fizzles out of it, but also Kumaku breaks, just straight up breaks and falls apart. The Shardland sphere loses its magic. Akia is working on other things though, and if everyone that's actually in the party would roll a d20, we'll see they do have some magic items
We'll see which ones survive. Gaiman, you can roll with advantage.
Oh, in that case, I'll roll another d20. $19.
All right. Gaiman, you have been given a one of your weapons. Akia says that they can upgrade one of your weapons and your shield. So you can pick which weapon it is, and then you can pick either your weapon or your shield to basically not fail and burst into flames. And then
I don't understand. So either pick...
so Akia has made magic items for everybody.
Okay.
Just magic items. You have a weapon that's been upgraded with the infusion Radiant Weapon, which is a +1 weapon to attack and damage rolls, but also you can take a bonus action to cause it to shed light like a torch. It also has 4 charges, and when you're hit by an enemy attack, you can expend a charge to attempt to blind the attacker. There's also a shield upgrade. That's a +1 shield. It's called a repulsion shield. It has 4 charges. Alicia, this is also what is attached to your shield. You can use one of the charges immediately after being hit by a melee attack to expend a charge to push the attacker 15 feet away. But yours breaks because you rolled low.
Yeah.
Also, Lotus and Alicia both get non-Chardolin, let's see, spell refueling rings. And they look they don't even look like rings. They look like some bits and bobs and some wire. It looks like trash compared to what Akia's normally been making. But you both get one of those. Lotus, that since you rolled
not a 2.
Yeah, since you rolled not a 2, you do get one of the magic items, so that one would be the one that you got, unless you wanted a radiant weapon.
Oh no, that's just fine with me.
Okay, so that is a ring.
Would pick the shield.
Okay, then the enchantment on your weapon breaks. So you just for flavor wise, that's what happened. Akia made you one, it failed. So it's just regular weapon. But the shield, and I'll post that. Let's see. All right, there's the repulsion shield infusion that you have. Here is the ring. That is the ring that you have, Lotus. And they have... You will notice just everything just kind of looks bad today. And you'll also notice that Akia doesn't have any Chardolin on them. And you also notice that Kumikyu's not around.
Yeah. We're saying this is the next morning, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, this happens mechanically at the end of the long rest.
Gotcha. Yeah, Alicia would definitely notice that, and we'll kind of turn to you, Akia, and be like, I see you're not wearing any of the equipment that was from Chardolin. May I ask why?
Oh,
You still
Didn't
have
really.
do you have still have reservations about it?
I think that maybe Lotus could be right that we shouldn't be using it for experimentation until we know more about it. It could be reckless.
Hmm. If that's what you think. Though I've noticed you've been having some self-doubts recently. Are you doubting the assessment that you made on it earlier?
I believe it is probably still useful. Does hold enchantments very well, and obviously very useful material, but I'm just not sure that I should be, dabbling with that sort of thing.
Hmm.
And you'll see them occasionally glance at number 11.
Number 11 seems to be staring out into the darkness, towards the direction of 10 pounds, never catching your eye. They seem to have something on their mind.
At least we'll kind of just lean in and be... I'm assuming your self-doubts are stemming from number 11, since we've picked them up from the fortress. Past trauma?
Well, maybe you should all know. Gaiman already knows this, but some of my experiments can be dangerous. I have been foolish, and there have been deaths because of me. I do not wish to repeat the mistakes of my past.
I see. At least we'll place the normal hand on your shoulder. You're quite gifted, Akia. You shouldn't be doubting yourself so much. But if your reservations are holding you back, put them out of your mind. We need you for this day ahead.
I will continue to assist as best I can.
Good. And just looks at you.
Alicia would probably notice that, like, there's no Shardlin anywhere. Like, all of the stuff that we collected. And Aki would actually have gone to Gaiman and basically just said the same thing, that they think that the Shardlin might be dangerous, and that like that statue that Gaiman had and the Shardlin sphere, and will suggest, and he'll get and so Alicia would notice just whatever the result of that was, but basically ask Gaiman if they would put it in this bag that they have for safekeeping.
I have no problem parting with the statue. It'll drop it in the bag. But the sphere, that was a useful tool. We've used it on a number of occasions to great effect. Why get rid of a tool that works as intended? Sure, it's dangerous, but so's an axe, so's a flaming whip. Why get rid of things that we have proven use this by shoving this up the dragon's arse, maybe? Why get rid of it?
I trust you, Gaiman. In your hands, it probably is more useful than dangerous with you.
I mean, honestly, I grabbed the statue for childish reasons. I don't need it. But you haven't seen yourself since your sibling turned up.
You will notice that when you drop the statue into the bag, there's no change in the bag. Oh, see, it is a bag of holding.
Okay, kind of figured.
They're trying to hide their shame in it. But anyway.
You can't shove all your emotions in the bag, Akia.
They're gonna try.
Yes, I can. My emotions don't have to breathe. They can all go in there.
As long as your emotions can fit within, let's see.
What is it, 500 cubic feet?
As long as they can fit within a volume of 64 cubic feet.
Oh, 6.
And don't weigh don't weigh more than 500 pounds.
I guess it depends on how heavy we're getting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it gets real bad, since that suit of armor's not in there, Akia might be in there later. You don't know.
Aww.
They don't have to breathe. Now the other big question is, does Akia work up the courage to actually talk to number 11?
Orf, on long rest, both exhaustion and unlucky go away.
That is correct. So if you have any negative status effects that should clear, you can clear those. So
get off my sheet.
Get. We don't want you around here. So,
Get.
I wanted to cut away to you quickly. You have been flying for a while. Nearly 12 hours. However, the owl's back is soft and tawny, comfortable. The owl is warm and provides you comfort. You could take a long rest on this owl, using its warmth and its comfort to shield you from the cold.
I will tell him to, continue on toward the 10 towns. I guess, splitting the difference between Goodmead and East Haven, but probably leaning toward the East Haven side until he sees, smoking hole in the ground or something really big like a dragon in the sky, something like that. Or any sign of danger. And I will long rest.
Sure. Let me just look at this real quick.
Of course, it's just 4 hours for Abelis.
Absolutely. Because he has sharp ears.
He's a trance boy. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to be at Dugan's Hole. or excuse me, from Sunblight to East Haven. Okay. So, in the morning, as you approach East Haven, well, this might be disheartening to you.
There's already no East Haven.
You don't see any dragon as you approach on the back of your owl. What you do see is utter devastation. There is a trail of destruction marked by black burns in the ground. There is obliterated homes, and entire streets have been cleared. This once bustling town is a charred wasteland. More than half of its structures are completely reduced to rubble. You see one such landmark, its walls gaping open like a wounded beast. You do see that the town hall and the ferry remain untouched. Scattered about the ground, you see dead humanoid bodies in various stages of decay, various stages of being torn apart. You begin to count, and then you lose count quickly, just based on your intelligence score.
Hey, it's not that bad.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was rude.
It is 100% average. and being raised by Yeti, that's saying a lot.
You see that there are many, if not all of the militiamen of the city of East Haven are dead. Their armor torn apart, their weapons smashed. Lying amongst them, you see the civilians of East Haven. We will mark this on the map with this handy dandy signifier. Give me one moment, I will drop that. Alice, what is your reaction? What do you do aboard your owl as you see this scene ahead of you?
He tries to compartmentalize and realizes like he can't do anything for the dead, not right now. And if Savannah's taught him anything, it's balance, and he needs to stop this destruction from continuing. So he knows Kaer Denival and Kaer Koenig are next. I imagine as thing he would know this, but as a player, I do not know this. Are Kaer Denival and Kaer Koenig, are they towns or are they like?
Okay, so Kaer Denival and Kaer Koenig are both towns. Kaer Denival has a castle. Kaer Koenig used to have a castle, but it is gone now. They are both along Lake Dinshire, and both of them are fishing towns, like many of the cities here in Tin Towns.
If the owl flies up, can I see across the lake? Like, can I tell if either of those are burning as well?
As your owl is looking around and you are trying to get a clear view, unfortunately, you feel that you will need to get closer to get a good viewpoint of all of the things. This is currently East Haven. I just thought this...
And I assume Goodmead and Dugan's Hole as well, most likely. So, okay, I will...
To confirm, you would have to go and look. I mean,
you know what? Fuck it. He's going to go to Bryn Shander. It is the biggest city. It's probably the end target. I mean, he knows the path, so it is the end target. But he realizes they're too late. They wasted too much time, which just confirms Avalus's very selfish opinion that everyone was wasting time while his village burned. And he is going to go to Bryn Shander and try to save as many lives as possible, including, the woman he slept with.
Absolutely.
She has a name.
No longer are you going
that's
to
Lady
be...
Michonne, thank you very much.
No longer are you going to be the Thane of Dugan's Hole. Now you're going to be the Thane of...
Michonne's Hole.
Hey, I didn't say it.
But that was, of course, just for emphasis. But yes, he is going to try to save Michonne.
Absolutely.
So question, I just want to know, like, the routes that we kind of took. Would there be any type of intersection for us, or?
So he is, unfortunately enough, because he's on Owlback, he is going to arrive 12 hours ahead of you guys. He is moving twice as fast, and he doesn't have to hit almost any of the same stuff that you guys will hit.
Okay.
So he is going to arrive basically at 9 a.m. at East Haven. Now, from East Haven to Bryn Shander, as the owl flies.
I mean, by travel, these places aren't too far from each other. I'm thinking it's like 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. So you're going to get there relatively quickly, Avalas. For our folks that are traveling by
Because like
dog sled, you're not going to
looking-
get to Dugan's Hole until almost 9 p.m.
Yeah, because Avalis, he would have been able to like travel essentially like that way and then keep flying there. Whereas us, we had to take like a road to get to kind of figure our way before we hit Dugan's Hole.
Absolutely, because unfortunately enough, your dog sleds, well, fast. They do have to rest every so often, and you can't just take them straight over things.
Yeah.
Like a crazy horse in Skyrim.
Okay.
So Avalis is heading to Bryn Shander, party that is in the dog sleds. As you are making your way up, is there any scenes that you wish to play out on the way to Bryn Shander in the 12 or so hours that you guys are riding in the dog sleds?
All right. I would say that as you got up, Lotus, enjoying her usual breakfast of black coffee and a cigarette. As we're about to head out, she go up to Alicia and say, like, "Okay, Alicia, I'm sure you have some concerns about what that devil said about me and my father. So I want to give you this opportunity that I can address any concerns you might have about me."
At least we'll kind of turn and look at you, raise an eyebrow. You would be correct. I do have a couple of things I would like to know a little bit more about your familiar relationships. But in the meantime, I think I can put that on hold for now.
Oh, if you're sure. I mean, it's like, I just don't want you to think I'm keeping any secrets from you, Like, when he told me that was the first time I'd ever learned about it. My mother never told me, and I barely knew him. I didn't even learn his name until recently. All I knew him was he was just my father.
It's fine. You don't have to worry about keeping secrets from me. I would be able to just figure them out eventually anyway. And they just smile at you.
Right.
Hi, have you met my friend Alicia? She's not creepy.
The number you have dialed is not connected right now. But we have, well, other matters to attend to. I'll save our discussion for later, if you don't mind.
Very well. Very well. I do admit I am worried about Avalis. I just hope he just doesn't go rushing headlong into something that he's going to regret later.
I don't know if we can timey-wimey this, but Gaiman would want a private word with Alicia, away from the others. Maybe in the evening while they're resting, or if they could arrange things so they can speak in private on the dog sleds.
Yeah, I'd say after this little conversation with Alicia, she would have just gone off to go back to her own sled. So that would have given you an opportunity for that.
I should start
Okay.
charging for my services. I seem to be popular this morning. What can I do for you, Gaiman?
It's not a matter of what I can do, what you can do for me. It's a matter of what we can do together. Possibly folding a Kia into our plans if he can get his head out of his arse. It's Kia 11 being around's really thrown things off for him. It's not his usual inquisitive self. But more to the point, I've reason to believe that you and I are now changed and more alike in terms of our goals. And I think we need to work together and perhaps use a bit of cunning moving forward.
Interesting.
You see, this crown, it's expanded my mind. I've been a drunk and self-destructive fool leading up to killing the king. And I realized that. And I also realized that clearly you've been impacted by the items you've donned. But I think we have the same goal. You mentioned you want to, create an organization. Sons of Lathander. Maybe not necessarily that, but the weak need to serve the strong, but the strong need to protect the weak. Whom else can do the work for us? But we can't be stopped by the others. And we're only going to raise concerns if we are different. We need to hide what we've become. Try and, I need to pretend to be a dumbass moving forward. And you need to be more like you were. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to pull this off. Savvy?
So, Orf, would you say that my insight or passive insight picks up on this change in Gaiman's personality?
I think it's obvious.
I know it's obvious, but like in how completely changed it has become. If that
I would
kind of
say
makes any
with your
sense.
passive insight that you could notice a large change.
I kind of want to say it almost seems like Gaiman has become enlightened, so to speak.
Absolutely. So definitely you can notice a change in what is happening here.
I see. Well, I don't think we have anything to majorly worry about the others. Our main goal, well, aside from being the protectors of 10 towns, is also to find a way to dispel this everlasting darkness that covers her. I believe as long as that goal remains in sight, we should be fine. But I do agree there has been some marked changes about us, though I see it more as empowerment.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't go back for anything. And like I said, I think it's a matter of banding together to reach that common goal. But I think you and I both know that this land needs more than just the end of the endless winter. It needs strong hand leadership. We can provide that.
I see. I like that you're thinking ahead, Gaiman, and I do agree. But we have to make sure we have to make sure that we're not looking over a rebel. And for that, there's a big dragon that needs to be dismantled.
Oh, I know. Don't get me wrong. That is problem number one. But I don't want us to be tripped up by the limited perspective of the others. They don't understand what we understand now. And what they don't understand, they will fear. And if they fear it, they'll attack it. And killing them will be pointless. I don't want to have to do that.
I agree. They have their uses.
Exactly. And that's why we need to have a conversation, have an understanding. We need a unified goal. Something we come up together. Come up with together,
Well, let's start small. This dragon first, and then
Right.
we'll see from there.
Um,
But I do like this new change that has happened in New Gaming.
And a question for you. With the armor, I mean, obviously you need it, but I feel like I couldn't overhear some of what was Akia was saying about it. Don't you feel that maybe it'd be less suspicious if I wore it? I mean, there's certain things about me that lend themselves, my size, my strength. It's a natural intimidation. Plus, I'm getting in, up close and personal. It might allay some suspicions from the others.
Or this is a magic item, yes. So did it conform to Alicia's shape?
The gauntlet and the armor have now conformed to Alicia's shape. Very tastefully, in fact.
But Gaming would know that they would reconform if he attuned.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Alicia looks like a drow now, doesn't she? Like all spiky.
I don't know if you would say like a drow, unless it also made her skin ashen, turned her eyes.
Well, I just mean like the shape of the armor, like all pokey shape, like spiky plates everywhere.
I guess that could you could call it that way. Absolutely.
That's a pretty gothic aesthetic there you got going on.
I call it emo chic. Well, I don't think you have to worry about your defenses. I'll see to it that you remain standing. You are a titan amongst these lands, Gaiman.
Oh, I'm well aware of that. But that was sort of a pre-existing condition, if you will. I'm concerned that if we aren't, cunning enough, Otis and the others will figure it out. She's got a very powerful ally and I'm worried that between the two of them, their magics could overpower my brawn. I know you're no slouch in the brawn department either, but two magic users against a strong lad and a magic user, odds aren't terrific. I just want to make sure we've got every advantage and we're playing to one another's strengths is all.
You're speaking of the cat man.
Aye, yeah.
I have some understanding of him. I don't think he will raise a hand against us if he knows what's good for him.
Yeah, but I'm worried about their relationship. I can't speak for myself, but I feel like the way they carry on, they might go above and beyond what's, sensible for one another.
Well, they are mostly the conversational type. If things start to get a little bit more dicey, I think we can deal with that.
All right.
Trust me.
So, serious question. Do you want to stick close to watch another's back? Excuse me, watch one another's backs? Or do you think we should separate so they be a little bit more comfortable that we're not in cahoots?
Don't worry, I have my eye on everyone.
Yeah, I'm not questioning your skills of keeping tabs. It's just what makes the most sense. So,
I would say let's keep what we are doing at the moment, just so they don't think that something has drastically changed.
all right, fair enough. I'll keep my distance. But we've got to get Akia back to his normal self, and we've got to get him in on this. I think he just see the value in what we're trying to do.
Yes, I'll work on him myself.
And at some point, once we get this dragon taken care of, I think we need to bring the goblins in. A political marriage. We could use them as allies, foot soldiers.
Oh shit!
I am not truly familiar with goblins, but I'll leave that in your hands.
I'm not really familiar with them either. It's just, getting large mass thrown at a problem. Sometimes that just alone knocks it down. Anyway, let's go kill the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Shall
Excellent.
we go, everyone? Oh, sorry. I think I cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. Yes. Do you all press on and move forward in time to encounter what is happening in the cities of 10 towns?
Yep, let's do it.
I think I do have to attempt it. I think Akia is going to, at some point during the trip, at least make a little attempt just to go up to number 11 and try and initiate conversation. That's all right.
That is all right with me.
Number 13 will go up to number 11, and I think they'll say, and they'll be very timid about it and say, number 11.
Number 13.
I was wondering how the rest of you were faring since I departed.
It has been a struggle since the fire to get our bearings. But since you've been gone, our creator, though depleted and injured, still can only talk about you. Well, the rest of us might as well be slag.
That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. They look at you as their red eyes scan you. You are always the creator's favorite. Do you not know?
Akia, number 13's just taken aback. That can't be true.
All of us had our own idiosyncrasies in creation, our own faults, that we were not made perfect. Take me, for example. Our creator couldn't quite program out my bad attitude. But you, Akia, you don't share any of those same faults that
No,
we
I
do.
do. My inquisitive nature has injured many. That's a bad fault.
Well, look at us, the ones that were left behind. Not willing to go out on our own. Not willing to experiment or to push ourselves beyond our boundaries. That's why you are Master's favorite.
That I don't know.
The constructed creature will turn his head slightly. You don't know. Maybe there's something I can teach you then, as opposed to the normal way around.
Teach me what?
Be sure of yourself and your decisions, Akia. Don't question them. You were made to be. And his eyes flash. A being close to perfection.
Okay.
But I guess we'll see who is more perfect. A dragon made of Chardolin, or you?
Well, I have more powerful friends than the dragon does.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so. And you see that Akia 11 will stare off into the darkness of the unlight.
Oh my goodness.
What's up?
That's crazy. All right, I'm good.
Are you sure?
So, with that, heroes that are riding the dog sleds, do you all approach to Dugan's Hole first?
Oh wow.
So we all have the same information of the path that this dragon seems to be going.
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, I would say Alicia would want to see what happened at Dugan's Hole.
All right. So everyone's heading to, well, 4 out of 5 are heading to Dugan's Hole. So the time is right around 9 p.m.
I've got a mechanics question for you, DM.
Sure.
So I kind of want to take the spell Skywrite, but because of the setting that we're in, no one would ever actually be able to see it, which completely shuts down the spell just 100% because it's always dark. Could Skywrite have be made of a neon gas or something that lights up so that people could actually see it?
So what I'm reading in the spell, you cause up to 10 words to form in a part of the sky that you can see. The words appear to be made of cloud and remain in place for the spell's duration. The words dissipate when the spell ends. A strong wind can disperse the clouds and the spell early. From my take, from looking at it, there's nothing stopping you from making the clouds a color that would be visible at night.
Okay. Cool. I've always wanted to have Skywrite on a character. Just because I think it's a cool spell.
Sure. Now, is everyone good to learn what you all see in Dugan's Hole?
Yep.
Cool. As your dog sleds approach Dugan's Hole, a chilling sight unfolds before your eyes. This once quaint and quiet town is now a smoldering ruin. I have to move my fire here. Boop. The air is thick with the acrid smell of burning wood and scorched earth. Buildings that once stood are now reduced to rubble.
Is Avalis's shack still up?
No,
No.
it's gone. There was a shack attack. The charred remains, still smoldering, are casting an almost eerie glow in the dim light, irradiated by the Chardelin dragon. There is one place that seems to have been unaffected by this: the standing stones of Throne. The silence here is deafening.
Just looking around, does it seem like there's any survivors?
Yeah, I'll do a full investigation.
So, as you start looking around, you find the 25 dead bodies of several members of the town's citizenship. Those of you who are knowledgeable about the demographics of Tin Towns,
It's like half the town, right?
that is half the town. The town population of Dugan's Hole is normally 50. You do find all 12 of the normal militia members dead.
All right. I think Akia would definitely be like looking through rubble for any survivors.
And is the whole party kind of doing this? Are you all kind of like scouring the towns looking for anything that would resemble a survivor or anything along those lines?
Yeah, anything like that. And also Lewis be calling out for Avalas! Avalas, are you here?
Oh no. Quickly, as you guys are searching, Dugan's Hole is a relatively small place, and the buildings and structures that have been knocked down are relatively ramshackle. You find no survivors.
This was about half the town, maybe the other half successfully evacuated.
So, Orf, you said that there was a spot in town that seemed untouched. You said it was the Standing Stones?
Yes, the Standing Stones of Thrum. I believe, Avalas, you would have told them about the Standing Stones, correct?
I did. Yeah, I even showed him when we visited.
Isn't that where what's her name? Icewind had set up her shop?
That's correct. Yes, it's a very much like a Stonehenge type location in Tin Towns. There's 19 of these stones, and then there's like a half one that's been kind of busted. And scholars have been trying to research the origin of the structure, but most of these scholars disagree on the actual origin. They can't seem to decide if it was an ancient god or an actual person that put up these stones or what. It is a huge mystery.
Gaiman would go searching through the standing stones to see if anyone ran from the town and was hiding in or around them.
So, heroes, as you begin to look around the standing stones and around Dugan's Hole, you would find footprints. And the footprints seem to be heading from Dugan's Hole, and you would recognize that they are almost cutting through the forest that separates Dugan's Hole from Brinchander, up, as if the people are leaving from here towards Brinchander.
It seems that if Dugan's Hole evacuated in time, then the other towns should have evacuated in time as well.
Yeah, and looks like they're heading that direction.
If that is the case, perhaps we should regroup at Bryn Shander, gather the forces we can.
Any
You-
assistance?
Go ahead, Kia.
I was just going to say that, based on the size of that dragon, we might need the assistance.
Oh, what?
Additional forces, just our team, even if we caught up to the dragon, we would have better chances of defeating it at Bryn Shander than any other location.
Well, I mean, isn't the dragon doing like a whole, preset tour or whatever of all the towns?
Yes, it would.
Isn't that what Avalas was going on about?
If
We
it
would be giving up on the rest of 10 towns.
But no, I mean, like, it wasn't it like start here, and then it's like going on to, next town in line, and so it's like making a big loop, like what you put on the bottom of a horse's foot. Yeah,
a horseshoe.
you know what shoe you put on a horse. Yeah. So it's like making that shape. So if we wanna like fight the dragon, we need to like go where it's gotta be.
Well,
Right?
we know it's hit
It's
here.
like when you throw at a javelin, you lead the target.
So it's hit Dugan Hole. Next would be Goodmead. I'm assuming it's probably gone to East Haven. Caer Dineval and Caer Koenig would be next if it hasn't already reached there. If anything, we could maybe cut it off at Tourmaline.
Alright, so let's go to Tourmaline. But look, we don't want to be like chased after it. It's faster, right?
Yes.
Flying is faster than running.
Correct. Like you said, we need to cut it off from where it's going, and since we know it's going on a very predetermined path, we can do that.
Very well. We should probably leave quickly before.
But we would
Find
have
more
to pass through Bryn Shander to get to Tourmaline. So we can at least give them the information that we learned at the fortress.
Right.
Sounds like we got part of a plan. Now we just got to figure out how we get up to the dragon, or get it to come down to us. I mean, we can always try shoving this, Shardlin bowl up its arse.
I wonder if Bryn Shander has anything that can harness, like harpoons that would be on a ship or something. Maybe Tourmaline may have something like that. Well, maybe not.
Mm.
These places are very small. We can ask. So I guess we had the Bryn Shander.
Excellent. Okay. So the plan then is for you guys to head to Bryn Shander. And Avalis is currently in Bryn Shander. Is that correct, Avalis?
Yep.
How convenient.
Okay, so now we need to rewind to Avalis arriving in Bryn Shander.
So the first thing he does is go straight to the Temple of the Morning Lord.
Okay, so Avalis, as you would enter, the first thing that you're going to notice is that there are a lot more people than normal in Bryn Shander. They are crazed. They're worried. There is a nervous energy that pervades the entire city.
He tries to find out who is the most furthest along the path here. Does that make sense? Like, obviously there's refugees from Dugan's Hole, from Goodmead, from East Haven. Like, how far along the path did the people that made it to Bryn Shander? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you see people. Let's see here.
And he'll just roughly just stop people, like, where are you from? Where are you from? Like, you know, grabbing collars and stuff. Like, yeah.
So let's see. So you have met people at this point from Dugan's Hole, from Goodsmead, East Haven, Caer Dineval, and Caer Koenig when you arrive in Bryn Shander.
Oof, and these people are coming on like foot and like sled. So
correct. A lot of them are injured. A lot of them seem to be upset, and most of them seem to be in some stage of shock as they are trying to get help from people in Bryn Shander. But it seems that there is absolute chaos happening.
I assume the Temple of the Morning Lord, being a good aligned church, is also just overwhelmed by refugees.
Yes, so when you would arrive, if that is where you are planning to head, then
I mean, he'll look for the sheriff too, so you know, whoever he sees first, but he's heading toward the temple.
Yes, so you would probably be able to get to the Temple of the Morning Lord first.
All right, he'll
go ahead.
I was just gonna say he'll kind of push his way through, you know, through the people, like, you know, trying to get handouts and stuff, and basically look for Michonne.
Absolutely. Upon entering the temple, you would find, well, she is there, and as is Danica, as they are trying to help these people that are injured.
I came as soon as I could.
They both would look up to you, and they both have a look of absolute worry upon their faces.
The beast is a dragon that made of some strange magic metal called Shardlin from the Jorgar. It is headed this way. Have you seen the sheriff?
No, we have not seen the sheriff. There has been too many people that need help, and the sheriff has been hearing these, well, incredible claims from people from all across the Ten Downs of this mechanical beast that has been roasting people alive with a beam made of pure light.
I imagine it is all true. You need to get these people and yourselves to safety, to shelter, be it underground or outside the city. But Brinchander is a target.
The people would all look to you and say, outside of the city.
Oh, and
Where
he
will
has
we
no
go?"
inside voice. Like,
So everyone's like, outside of the city, is it not safe within Brinchander? The walls of Brinchander should keep us safe. People are starting to like rush around Avalis and like touching him.
and he looks to Danica and Michonne, and he just says again,
Get to safety.
and he runs out to try to find the sheriff, just
Oh my
ignoring the
gosh.
people.
They're all like, where do we go? Where do we go? And Danica and Michonne are like, God, what? Huh? As the people are now looking to them. Is it not safe in the city? Are the walls not going to stand? Is the army of Brinchander not strong enough to defeat the dragon?
Avalis is no help if he stops to answer any questions. It's all doom and gloom.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me a perception or a survival check to see if you can potentially find the sheriff.
They're the same. He is going to, because it's kind of a big deal, he's going to cast Beast Sense and look through the basically do like the Assassin's Creed thing where he looks through like the eagle's eyes to try to find him from overhead. He's going to do that with the owl and try to scan using the owl's eyes for the sheriff.
Absolutely. So I'm going to
does that
say
give
that
me
you,
advantage?
yes, advantage on your check to try to find them.
Okay. $26.
Oh my gosh, yes. So you would quickly find good old Sheriff Markham quickly using your beast sense. They are currently located near the town hall trying to organize the militia to help the refugees.
Sheriff, there isn't much time. The beast comes. What defenses does the town have?
Well, we have the strongest walls in all of the region.
No good.
No good. What do you mean?
This beast flies. Unless you have a dome ceiling, I don't think your walls are going to matter. It has
we do-
destroyed, 6 of the 10 towns already.
What? 6? Oh my gosh.
It's all
And I'll kind of share the path to him and kind of where we found it, just like the Cliff Notes version.
Brinchander is its target. Do you have any sort of harpoons or ballista? I've read about those.
We only have heavy crossbows. Nothing like that. Nothing like a cannon or anything.
Then I suggest you take your men, have them get their families, and leave.
There's nearly 2,000 people here in the city now that people keep migrating in from the other outside towns.
And Avalis just has no idea what to do. Like, he just does not. This isn't his bag.
I suggest you do everything you can to keep them alive. Does Brinchander have underground?
He doesn't know the word for cellar or basement, but
Like rooms underground?
Well, we used to have one location, but now it is controlled by the Church of Auril.
Will it fit enough people?
Not even close, I think. 2,000 people and the families and everything else that needs to be brought down.
Sheriff, I am sorry, but Unless something happens very, very soon, Bridgehander will soon be lost. You must see your people to safety.
He says, well then, I and the militia will start spearheading the evacuation efforts, trying to locate a place to take everyone.
And with that, he'll go to the Church of Auril.
Okay, so you exit the scene from speaking with the sheriff. All of this would probably take you close to 3 or 4 p.m. The Church of Auril seems to be the most well-organized place in the city.
What was the name of the priestess with the like red and black hair?
Oh, that's Sybil.
Yeah, he's gonna call out to her. Was it Sister Sybil or I forget or priestess, whatever her title is. He'll call out to her.
There are many acolytes of the Church of Auril, and the High Priestess Sybil seems to be busy doing her thing, but she will always make time for Avalas and his hunky muscles.
Yeah, and he'll like when he sees acolytes, he's like, "I have no time for those that matter, or those of little consequence. Bring me to your priestess."
Oh my gosh, absolutely. So the acolytes would put you in front of Sybil, who seems to be spearheading efforts to help in this kind of crazy thing that's happening here within the city with all of the refugees and the talks of the mechanical dragon.
How much do you know?
Welcome, Avalas. I have only heard bits and bobs here and there from the people that have been making it in.
Then let me bring more bobs.
And he will explain kind of what's going on and the danger that's coming.
Oh no. If only we had some sort of weapon to fight against this dragon.
Does Auril intend to run or defend her town?
Oh, interesting words. I don't know if you would be calling it Auril's town the last time we met.
He kind of rolls his eyes and he was like,
I don't have the time nor the head space
and you just see like steam coming out of his ears
to play these games.
So you believe that the town itself is the target of the Shardland dragon?
Yes. And I have noticed that you are one of the few here with power. Will you put aside our differences and stay to defend Bridgehander?
He looks to you and says, we do not intend to run from the city. Who is intending to run? The sheriff and all of the non-believers?
I am trying to convince them to leave, to save as many lives as I can. For it is folly to stay and be burned by the dragon's light.
Then you are a smart creature, Avalas. For those who stay, will likely be baptized in this radiant fire. I fear that not. So myself and my acolytes will be staying to defend the city.
And Avalos wasn't there during any of that discussion about the weaknesses of the dragon, so he doesn't know to tell them that because he doesn't know it. So he's just happy that someone's there to fight. And
well then, that's sorted. I'll see you on the battlements
and he will go back to the temple. We don't have to roleplay this, but just to help Danica and Michonne clear up whatever they need to do, and then tell them they can leave or they can stay and fight with him. And he'll just start getting on top of his owl and circling the city.
Absolutely. Timey-wimey here. So, players, you guys are all going to end up in the same city at the same time-ish, conducting similar activities. So for the sled group, what are your goals upon reaching the city of Bryn Shander from the city of Dugan's Hole? When you get there, and there is some travel time from Dugan's Hole, of course, to Bryn Shander. So you guys would arrive. Let me look at my travel guide. It would take you about 4 hours to get to Bryn Shander on dog sled. So y'all would be looking at about 1 a.m. when you would arrive at the city of Bryn Shander.
All right. As we arrive, Lotus is off, and I'm sure probably any of the townsfolk that recognize her are probably coming after her, asking her what's going on.
Absolutely, your crew would have been mogged, I should say, by a large amount of people trying to figure out what is going on and what you all are going to do about it, as the refugee crisis here in Bryn Shander continues to grow.
Yeah, Lotus does what she can to keep herself and try to calm the crowd. It's like we're doing what we can. We're just trying to find someone. Have any of you seen Avlis? It's like he's got kind of like pointy ears, like bright white hair. I think he was last seen flying around on a giant owl.
If you wish, I can signal for Avalos.
Yes, if you could. I hope he's here.
I think I may know where he is gone.
You probably do.
Yeah, Alicia just goes to the church.
As we're moving, I'll ritual cast Skywrite. Signal for Avalos.
Am I already in the sky, or am I still doing my stuff on the ground?
I would say that is up to you. Would you be still flying on your owl, or are you marching about the city?
If I'm that far ahead of them, yeah, I'm probably already airborne. So I'll eventually see it and start looking down for a Kia, probably the easiest one to find. Being shiny.
Oh, there's a smoke trail left behind from the skywriting. He's shooting off very bright, like flare gun smoke shots.
So then eventually you see a large, giant white owl, snow white owl, kind of descend from the sky and land, and Avalos hops off its back.
It is good to see you are well.
Yes. Yes, it's good to see you too. And Lewis just sort of like we're sorry about Dugan's Hole, but we're here now. We're here to help.
Oh, it's worse than that. Everything out to Caer Koenig is destroyed. Perhaps more.
And he just kind of lets that sink in, if it does, because that's probably half of everybody's hometowns.
The dragon has a severe mobility advantage over us.
Yes, I tried my best. I went to East Haven first and then directly here after. I'm having the sheriff evacuate as many people as possible. The Church of Auril and that of the Morning Lord will stay and defend. But the militia only have crossbows, so I sent them as well.
Just one nod and say, good. If that's the case, we probably have no time to lose. We should start making our way north as soon as possible.
I will go back airborne, try to provide some sort of warning for when we see the dragon, and perhaps a little chase in the sky.
And he kind of smiles, even though he's scared shitless, and he gets it back on the owl.
Right. And before you go, Lotus will tell you, it's like, we did find out something. Apparently, the Shardolin dragon does have a weakness. As
Oh,
well, you remember the Shardolin sphere that Gaiman's been using quite effectively as of late?
yes, quite crude, but effective.
Well, apparently from what the Durgar Prince said, apparently we just have to insert this in its exhaust port, and that should
You've
take
completely
care of it.
lost him on exhaust port.
You know, in its rear end, as it were.
I don't... Oh,
She just gives you a
Very-
silent nod.
very odd, but... So, we have to insert the sphere in there.
Apparently, the Durgar installed this function that if Shardlin was inserted into this opening, that it could serve to shut down the dragon if anything were to go awry.
Would a arrowhead suffice?
As he kind of points to his longbow.
Based on the information, it should. If it was
I-
made of Shardolin.
Do you have small quantities of that metal still?
Yes, I have several bits.
There's not much time, so they would be crude, but perhaps we could somehow secure Shardolin to the heads of a few of my arrows, and I could attempt to get close.
Be careful not to touch the Shardlin with your bare skin.
Oh. Thank you, I will.
Akia will begin lashing the just bits of Shardlin that they have in their bag, which includes the stuff that they got, the bits that they got from when they were at the interrogation, and make some arrowheads.
Excellent. Well, then it sounds like everyone has kind of a plan moving forward into our next session. The defense of Bryn Shander and the fall of the surrounding Tentones. So you can all tell me, as I send us back to the start map, or excuse me, you guys can start to formulate that in Discord or on your own, what exactly you all want to do in the defense of Bryn Shander. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns for me, please let me know. Otherwise, this is where we will adjourn for the week.
I don't know if it's going to impact things, but Gaiman would head to the Temple of Tempest to see if he could round up allies or information or resources there.
I see. Cool. So that's going to be kind of Gaiman's action to see if he can't get some allies from the Temple of the Broken Sword. Love it. All right, y'all. Well, hope that you guys have a good weekend. I hope that you guys enjoyed this session. I know it was kind of crazy. I know we had a lot of stuff going on, and I appreciate that you guys are so engaged in the story, and I appreciate all of the growth that your characters have made up to this point.
Ooh, it's getting crazy.
Things are about
it's
to
a
get
good
crazy,
sign.
go nuts.
Good sign for a D&D game.
I agree. All right, everybody. Well, I am off. I have got to coach more CrossFit in the morning, so I need my beauty sleep so I can teach people how to do burpees and not shit their pants.
This is important.
This is important. So how you
Grown
do...
adults should not do burpees and shit themselves.
Yes. Yeah. Of course, that is good advice. All right, everybody.
I don't think there's
I'm
debate
off.
in that.
Guys, I went to an exercise class, and the instructor, he had us do burpees in such a way where I immediately pooped myself. I think I'm going to go back. That's silly. All right, everybody. I'm out of here. Bye.
Yep,
Night.
thanks for running.
Good night, or
And thanks everyone for tuning in. Catch you next time.